Let's play! Hi guys, and welcome back to Let's Play Analogue, a hate story. Well, we have more documents to read to try and piece together this story. So let's just continue with Block 5, The Insufferable Child by Hyun-ae's wife. Dearest Mother, do you recall in my last letter I mentioned the pale bride being brought into the household? I take back any kind words I might have said about her. That awful child is nothing but the most insufferable person I've ever met. I just thought I would have a little more time of peace. With Hyun-ae's adopted mother visiting her family, I have been given full responsibility over this miserable child. What happened to my promised domestic bliss? She's in trouble so often, one would think she were a boy. She acts like one too. I suppose it can't be helped. She says she lived her first 12 years in the past. I can see it. She certainly acts as tough, as though she's from a less civilized time. Just last night, she made a huge scene at dinner time. She kept trying to rudely leave the table in front of Hyun-suk and father-in-law, loudly insisting that she was too sick to eat. She has said this before, too. I was worried, so I had a doctor examine her. She is, of course, in perfect health. When I asked why she thought otherwise, she started talking about how pale and thin she looked. She's not truly unhealthy. All she was doing is rubbing it in that she is far more delicate and beautiful than I. What a cruel little child. Why must she be so spiteful to me? So we're seeing a bit of a disconnect in the times. Do you want more from King Hyun-suk's wife, or do you want the reply from her mother? Well, let's get the reply from her mother first so that we can read it. Oh, sorry, I'm afraid I don't have anything. I can explain why if you want. Well, go ahead. You have to understand something. It's traditional for women's letters to be deleted after read, so the disk space can be reallocated. Women weren't really supposed to read or write. Certainly the nobles did. It just the idea was that spending time on education got in the way of important virtues for women, which was serving the husband. So in practice, even if a woman was literate, she could at least excuse it by destroying her words afterwards. It's less pretentious if at least the writing wasn't permanent. Does that sound reasonable to you? No, that's stupid. Yes. Yes, it is. But that's how it is. But regardless, Kim Hyun-suk's wife was definitely considered a very virtuous woman, so I have none of the letters that she received. So I'm sorry, I can't give you anything there. Well, let's try to get more from Hyun-suk's wife at least. Yes, yep. Very well, I can give a couple more from his wife. Here you are. Alright. The next one is held prisoner by the pale bride. Dear diary, today I was forced to stay in the home all day. I didn't get to leave yesterday, or the day before that, or the day before that, or the day before that, or any other day either. I want to write about how much the ship has changed since I was put in stasis, but I can't even see it. I keep asking why I'm being kept prisoner. Nobody will tell me. That woman who keeps bossing me around, she's awful. I'm dying here. I keep telling her I'm sick, and that's why I was put in stasis to begin with, but she won't listen. She treats me like I'm a stupid kid. I tried to argue with her. Look how pale I am. Can't you see that I'm sick? I swear I'm not making up what she said in response. Why must you be so rude? It's not polite for a girl to boast about her beauty. Beauty? I tried not to cry in front of her. I've had to do that a lot. I'm not beautiful. I have a compromised immune system, I shouted at her and ran away. I don't remember what she said back. Something about using big words, I think. How stupid is she? Oh, my phone's ringing. She hates me. I don't know why, but she hates me. That's why I'm not allowed to go visit the ship plaza, though. Hyun-sun, the man who keeps telling me to call him father, said the same thing. He promised me that I would have a chance to leave soon, though. I don't think he was being nice, though. I'll write about him more later. Right now, I have to go to bed, or the woman will get mad at me again. Oh, she's actually wanting to talk to us. Hey, I just wanted to say thanks for paying attention to me. Aww. It's like I was saying earlier, I just hadn't had anyone to talk to in so long. The last time there was anyone around the ship, the year 322. By my count, it's now 944. Do you have any idea how long that is? It wasn't so bad at first. It was nice not have to worry about anyone telling me what to do. I could occupy myself, go through the old logs. But, well, I read quickly. After the first few years, it really started to sink in. The loneliness. Eventually, you sort of get used to it. Feels awful. You never like it. But you get used to it in ways that sort of scare you. There was a whole 100 years that went by where I didn't have a single thought. Not a one. I just sat there idle. I didn't even notice. I had been feeling particularly, what's the word? Sleepy? I want to say, but that's not right. I guess maybe that doesn't translate. Anyway, the point is, I was in a lazy mood, and I decided to call my clock subroutine, and it turned out it had been 3 trillion milliseconds since I last called it. Scary. Geez, I'm rambling. Sorry, as you can understand, my perception time is all off. Sorry, I'll shut up now. Well, my point is, I'm really happy to have someone out there. Aww. Next chapter, the Pale Bride. Oh, we did Hell Prisoner. Alright, let's show it to her again, because there's probably something she wants to say about it. I'll just let you keep reading. Please, let me know when you read all the ones I gave you. Okay, that sounds good. Women's Quarters. Dear Diary, I got in trouble today, but for the first time, it was my own fault. A little bit at least. I still think sister-in-law was being crazy about it, but I should have known better. Now that I write that, it looks serious. God, what is living with these people doing to me? The computer console in my room doesn't have anything in it. I don't just mean it doesn't have all the cartoons I brought from Earth, or any of my books or anything. I mean, there's literally nothing there to entertain myself with. Nothing. So I thought to myself that maybe sister-in-laws might get different and checked. It wasn't. So instead, I decided to go to Father's study. Not snooping or anything, just looking through on his computers for books. I had never thought it might be bad, but my real father would never have gotten too upset. What could the harm be? I was in there maybe 10 minutes, looking for anything that was written in Korean. There was nothing, by the way. Every single book, symbols that looked like Chinese characters. Every single one. I think maybe something terrible happened in the past that made all the computer data get deleted and everybody forget how to read Korean. And also, they all got really stupid about things. I don't think I'll ever find out why. It just sucks. Anyway, I was in there for only 10 minutes searching through the console when Young Suk walked in. I thought he was gonna get angry, but he actually just acted like he was really scared. He didn't scold me when he dragged me out, he just looked worried. I only got in trouble when we brought him back to his wife. He told her, "Do you have any idea where she was? She was in the men's quarters looking through Father's computer. Do you have any idea how he would react if he saw her? You're supposed to be watching her." She apologized repeatedly to him. I just don't know what to say. I didn't think sister-in-law did either. After he left, she gave me this really long and really awful lecture. Why would you go into the men's quarters? Why would you go looking for books? Why must you be so unfilial? Do you not understand that you're a girl? I told her that I don't understand. I mean, of course I'm a girl, but I had no idea what she was talking about. When I told her that, she lectured at me more. I hate her so much. So, there's probably one big question that's on your mind, isn't there? That this isn't being addressed at all, right? What happened in between the Pale Bride being frozen and waking up that made society go all wrong, right? No, I want to know, right? I mean, I figured, it's the obvious question. Sorry, I wish I could tell you more. Afraid that mystery is lost forever to time. I guess that's pretty anticlimactic. Sorry. I really want to know, too. Whatever terrible thing happened, it must have been really, really big. But I'm afraid all the log data from before the year 1 was wiped, and all clocks were reset. I guess that's why they called it year 1. Anyway, so nobody remembered what happened in between, or even how long it was in between. It was hundreds of years, I assume, but I really don't know. So yeah, really sorry to let you down there. That part's gonna be a mystery forever. There's nobody who could possibly know. You'll just have to take it as a given. Sorry. Well, that sucks. Okay, next chapter is Straight to Hell from the Pale Bride again. I honestly, the Pale Bride's diaries are the most sort of revealing, so yeah, Dear Diary, this nightmare has gone on for so long. I think I'm starting to forget what life used to be like. I have a new theory. Father was wrong about cryostasis keeping me alive until I was cured. I think it didn't work at all. I think I just died and went straight to hell. I decided I'm going to write down all things I used to do just so I can remember. I used to be able to read books. I used to be able to have friends. I used to be able to go to school. I used to be able to leave the home and go to the plaza or anywhere else on the ship. I think I even used to be part of... I think I even used to be able to be in part of any of the house I wanted and talk to visitors as much as I'd liked. I have memories of always spending time with my father, my mother, my brother, and in the living room. I know my real father thought being respectful was important too, but I don't know, I'm so confused now. I thought he always taught me to be strong and to speak up for myself. Did he really say that? I'm being sarcastic, of course, but the scary thing is sometimes I really do forget. Sometimes I think if I was obedient to what my sister-in-law tells me to do, it would make things easier. Maybe I should just give in and be passive, just sometimes. I'm scared though. What if I end up really believing that? Say, before you keep going, can I just interrupt you for a couple minutes? Sure. Thanks, it's just... Well, you're finding out so much about the Magungwa, but I know absolutely nothing about where you're from. It's not just that there's been nobody to talk to for centuries. I mean, I don't like that either. But the ship is really all that I know about, and it's been disconnected from all other civilization for so long. So, you're from the United Korean Space Probe Agency, right? Or, I guess maybe a future version of it? Okay, so this is where you sort of get to choose your own past. So I'm actually going to say no. I want to know what happens, because I went yes last time. Oh, I assumed you were. Well, strictly speaking, only someone from UKSPA would be allowed to access these systems, so I really won't be able to help you if you weren't. So obviously, I must have made a mistake. You actually are? No, I'm not. I want to know what happens if I'm not. Jeez, I just gave you... Come on, why do you have to be so difficult? Fine, here I am breaking the rules just for you. Are you happy now? Jeez. Anyway, it really doesn't matter. What I really want to know about is Earth. I mean, I'm sort of aware of it. It's the planet we all come from. But I don't really know anything about it. I have some ideas, but I don't think they're really right. But you know all about it, right? I mean, even if you're not from there yourself, you must know what it's like, right? Yeah, I'm from Earth and stuff. Oh, wonderful. I sort of understand the basics, like, it's a big sphere that everyone lives on, and there's unimaginably vast amounts of open space. You only see the stars at night, right? Because the sky just looks blue during the day. All this is what I've known from the Pale Bride. She never saw Earth. She was the second generation, born on the ship after it had long left the Earth star system. But her parents were born on Earth, so she heard stories about them, and when she was young, I think they brought her a lot of books and movies with them. I don't know, I'm just being a little skeptical, given she was a child when she learned that. Maybe she got mixed up? What can I actually ask you in a yes or no question? I didn't realize how hard this would be. Well, alright, so the Magungwa was originally supposed to be establishing a colony at some star or other 100 light years away. I know that. That was a really long time ago. Did any other ships ever exceed where we didn't? Or is it just still Earth? No, there are other planets. Ah, well, that's wonderful to hear. Oh, I know. Is it really true that on Earth, seasons aren't, like, just metaphors? Like, oh, this sounds silly now that I actually put it into words. But the Pale Bride seemed to think that winter wasn't just something that happened to you emotionally. On Earth, it was actually a part of the planet turned frigid. Does this have any sort of basis in reality? Yeah, it does. I know all about that. Wow, my word, that's amazing. Seriously? That sounds like... I can't even imagine that. What else was there? Oh, there was this one city that her parents were from. I think it was called Pyongyang. They described it being as amazing. If you looked up, all you could see were huge, bright white buildings, as tall as 100 or more decks. And on the, I'm not how sure you would word for this. It sort of means sort of the bottom deck? Anyway, they said that at the bottom the streets were lined with willow trees, and the tops of buildings had flower gardens. Have you ever been to that city before? Or at least heard of it? Yeah, I've heard of it. Never been there. Really? So it does exist then. Is it really as beautiful as they say? Truly? Not quite. Of course. It's an amazing thought, though. Like, they said they met in one of those gardens up in the sky and fell in love at first sight. I guess the gardens probably aren't real, and maybe love at first sight isn't either. But geez, it's awfully romantic, isn't it? That's really my question, I guess. Is Earth worth being romantic aboard? Abort, yes. No, about. Of course it is, I think it is. Well, I guess I've already probably wasted enough time with your silly questions, haven't I? That's just, well, please humor me once more, then I promise I'll stop bothering you. Do you think I could ever see Earth? It's possible. Well, thank you for saying that. It just sounds so romantic, and I'd really like to see it. Did you guys see that? Did you see that? Okay. I'd really like to see it someday. Thanks. Very well. I promise I'd stop wasting your time. So what do you want to ask me about? Okay. I think that's about enough for this time. Did you guys see what just happened? You might want to go back in the video and check that out. Just because am I the only one? Okay. So I'll see you guys next time on Let's Play Analogue, A Hate Story. If you see when we save, we're already actually 19% done the game. It's quite, this isn't the longest game, so, but still, a lot of reading. So I'll see you guys next time. Ciao.